Hi, my name's Deb Marnie and I'm from Aussie Maille. Welcome to our chainmail tutorial channel. Big hi, hello, welcome. Really glad to see you guys here. Thanks so much for popping along and spending some time with us. So today I'm going to be demonstrating our Boho Dreams necklace, which is one of the kits from our fabulous Mail Club subscription box. You can check out the links below for that if you're interested in finding out some more. So this is a project-based kit, so it's not a straight weave kit, but he does use the helm weave. So as long as you've had experience with helm, or even if you're just wanting to learn how to do helm, this is a great simple kit for you to do. All right guys, let's just jump straight into it. So here's a sample piece of the kit that we'll be making today. And to make this up, you'll need the following components. So we're working in brine aluminium, 20 gauge AWG, and we're using rings that are 4.75mm ID. You'll need 24 of these. 4.5mm ID, and you'll need about 26 of these ones. And then 2.75mm ID rings, and you'll need 19 of these. And you'll also need one of our large flat rings. Now these have an outer diameter of about 33mm, an inner diameter of about 25mm, and they're about 1.8mm thick, but we do sell these on our website. You'll also need 3 eye pins or 3 pieces of wire for your pendant, and these ones are approximately, let's see, these are about 5 centimeters or 2 inches in length. So, 3 pieces of wire of about that length. You'll also need 3 charms of some sort. So we're using little wing charms here. But if you grab yourself 3 little charms of your choice, we're using some Gemstone Chips. So again, whatever gemstone you prefer. The quantity depends on how big your chips actually are, but you'll probably need anywhere from about 15 to 20 little pieces. And you'll also need a bail, a small bail. You can do without, you can just use a ring if you don't have any bails, that's fine. And lastly, you'll need some sort of chain or necklace or something to hang your pendant off. For tools, you'll need a round nose plier and some wire cutters. And for the chainmail, you'll need 2 pairs of smooth jawed pliers. These are pliers from our Zoron range. This one here is the chisel nose, and this is the short nose plier. Because we're working in 20 gauge rings, I would suggest finer nose pliers are better than your wider nose. Okay, so we're going to start by creating our helm section, which is the chainmail there in the center. So to do that, take up your largest ring, which is the 4.75mm ID ring, and onto that pop a couple of the 2.75mm, your smallest rings. So you can pre-close those small rings if you want, or you can just go in and close them now like I am. So just close those up. Okay, so our work looks like this. Take up another 4.75mm ring and feed it through those same 2 small rings. So we're doubling our large ring up. Okay, and we want to fold it so our work looks like this. So if you've got a twist tie or something, it's not necessary, but if you've got one handy, you can pop that through your large rings now. Just helps a little bit. A paper clip or anything like that will do the same job. So we've got our chain looking like this so far. We've got 2 of our large rings and 2 of our smallest rings. And we're going to take up another large ring. I'm going to open that up. And we want to feed that between these two large rings here, okay? So that it goes all the way through and pops out the other side and encircles our two smallest rings. Okay, so we just slip it in through there, pop it out the other side so it looks like that. And then we just close our ring up. Okay, so our work looks like this. And then we want to take another one of our large rings and we want to feed it through the two small rings. So we want one on each side of that large ring that we just placed. So we'll pop one through here on the top, close that up, turn our work over and do the same on the other side. Okay. Alrighty. So our work now looks like this. The next step, we want to take 2.75 mils, our smallest rings, and we want to capture those two rings that we just added. So we just go straight through the middle of them and pick them up. And we want to do that twice, so it looks like these rings back here at the beginning. So again, taking up another small ring and popping that through those two large rings. Okay, so we're back here and we're back at the beginning again. Okay, so this time we want to place our orbiting ring, this one here. So as before, take up an open ring. We want to slip it between our last pair of large rings. We're not going through any rings, we're just slipping it between them till it pops out the other side, and then we close it up so that it encircles our smallest rings. Okay, so we just keep repeating those steps, and you want to keep continuing doing that until you've got a total of 7 pairs of small rings in our chain. And then what we do next is we remove the twist tie from the other end. Okay, now sorry, I forgot to mention, you need to make sure that you've put that last orbiting ring in there so it looks like that. And once you remove the twist tie on the other end, we're going to make this end look the same. So we need to add another pair of small rings to our beginning chain. And then once we've got those 2 rings in place, we want to add another orbiting ring. So we just put that in, close it up. Okay. And there we've got a piece of chain that now has 8 small connecting rings with an orbiting ring on each end. Okay, so now we want to join our chain together to form a circle, and to do that you take up another one of your large rings, and on one end of your chain you pick up the 2 small rings here on one side, and then you go to the other end of your chain, making sure your chain's flat, that you haven't twisted it, pop it through the other 2 rings, small rings on that end, close it up. So your work looks like this. So now we need to flip this over so we can double that ring up so that it fits in with the rest of the pattern. And we just go here and we go through small rings on both ends of the chain. Close it up. And there you go, there's your helm circle. And that is what then will fit inside your large ring. Okay, so to join our helm to the large ring, we're going to be using our 4.5mm ID rings this time. And we open up one of these. You're going to open it up fairly wide. And we just want to pick one of our double pairs, one of our doubled up rings here, go through that, and then through the large ring, and then close that up. Okay, now I've got 3 rings in each connecting point, so just go through again and place 2 more rings in that point. Or you might like the look of just 2. It's up to you. I thought the 3 held it a little bit snugger than the 2 does. Okay. So once you've got all of those in place, what we want to do is the same for the next doubled up pair of rings. So again, just using the 4.5mm ID, you can go through and put the 3 rings in place. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that now. So if you put all your rings in place, remembering to go through all of your rings that were doubled up. Okay, so these rings here, 3 rings in each connection. And once you've done that, I can meet you back here and we'll go on to the next step. So there you go. We've now done all the joining rings and our work should look like this. So I'm going to set this aside for now because I'm going to start creating the dangles that come off the catcher. So to do that, I'm going to take up one of my eye pins and I'm going to start by opening the eye up a little bit and slipping on my charm. Okay, close that eye back up, and then I'm going to take my gemstone chips and I'm going to add those. So the amount that you add really depends on the size of the chips that you choose. Generally though, around 4 to 5 gemstone chips I find is a good amount. So I'm going to add 5. I'll compare that to, yep, that looks about right to me. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of a loop on the end of this one. And so I'm going to do a little bit, or I'm going to try and do a little bit of a wrap loop. I'm not very good at this. So I'm going to pop my plier on here. I'm going to bend that over at a 90-degree angle. Then I'm going to take my round nose pliers. I'm going to make a little bit of a loop by bringing that wire back over the front. And I'm going to adjust my round nose pliers and continue bringing that loop all the way around. Then I'm going to take my pliers out and I'm just going to roughly wrap the tail around the rest of it. Okay, and then once I'm happy with that, I'm going to cut off any excess that there may be. Okay, and then if I can get in here and give that end a little bit of a squeeze so that it's not sticking out and it's going to stab anybody. Alright, so you need to make 3 of these at about the same length. Okay, so if you go ahead and make up those other 2, and I'll show you how we attach everything together. Okay, so I've got my dream catcher bit and I've got the gemstone section. So now I'm going to start adding these together. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to put one of my small rings, my 2.75mm ring, I'm going to feed one of my drops onto that and then feed it through one of these sets of 3 joining rings or attachment rings. Okay, just like that. And then I'm going to do that here and here so that I attach all 3 of our gemstone dangles. So again, just popping the gemstone onto the 2.75 ring and feeding it through the attachment, 3 attachment rings. And one more. Okay, through the dangle, through the attachment rings and close it up. Okay, so I would then turn that around and have those at the back, but you may like those at the front. It's a design choice, totally up to you guys. Okay, but that's what that looks like now. And then all we want to do is attach the bail now so that we can put our chain through. So to do that, I'm going to grab one of our 4.5mm ID rings, and I'm going to find the attachment point that is opposite our centermost dangle. So this is our dangle here. So I'm going to go up to this attachment point up here, and I'm going to feed my ring through there. And before I close that up, I'm going to grab my bail and I'm just going to pop that on, close that up. Now this is a 20 gauge ring and it is a little heavy, our pendant, so I'm going to grab another ring and feed it through the attachment ring and through our bail. Okay. And then of course, feed your necklace through the bail and you've got a completed Boho Dreams pendant. Hey guys, well that's it. That's our tutorial for today. I hope you enjoyed it and you were inspired by our project. Don't forget to check out on the links below the link to our Mail Club subscription service where you can find more projects like this. Now, if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up here, comment, ask any questions below. We'd love to hear from you. Share the video. And if you haven't already, how about subscribing to our channel? And while you're there, hit the bell so that you'll get all the notifications every time we do add some content to our site. Don't forget to check out some of our many other video tutorials that we have here, and up there in the little corner there is the link to our store where you'll be able to buy all the tools and components that you see used here on our channel. Alright guys, thanks again for spending some time with us, and I hope to see you again sometime in the very near future. Bye!